Hello YouTube, welcome to my first devlog of the channel. I'll probably be doing devlogs of other stuff later on, but at the moment I'm doing a devlog of Distant Horizons, as I'm one of the lead devs in it. At the moment I'm using the dev version of the alpha version, so it's supposed to be 2.0 alpha dev, but at the moment it's not done yet. It's as of whatever build was at this time. As you can see, the next version of Distant Horizons are adding some pretty cool stuff. For example, transparency. That's one of the obvious features. This is still dev, so there are still bugs in places, especially with the generator. So, quickly disclaim. If you're wondering why the water is like this, why there's a hole in the water, that's because whenever the detail changes, the water transparency doesn't go over, so that will be fixed later, but at the moment that's just a quick reason why it's like that at the moment. Anyway, what I will be talking about today is noise. If I quickly disable this effect, I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. You can see the water, for example, is just an extremely flat single color with transparency. This looks nothing like the original. That bar of extra water will be removed later on to make the effect less noticeable between real water and fake water, but for now it's like this. Anyway, you can see the water doesn't look that good as it's just single color. Terrain off in the distance, especially big mountains and walls, there aren't many nearby, so I won't go looking, or little patches of grass. These are extremely obvious that it's fake terrain. Something that what I added to mitigate this was a bit of noise. You can see the water now looks a bit more natural with the noise, and the terrain looks a bit closer to real terrain. For a second I thought that was real terrain, real trees. Anyway, if I just go over to it, I just set it to fast last time so I can have transparent trees, but set it back to fabulous. Anyway, as you can see, the effect becomes much less noticeable, except for the fact that we don't have ambient occlusion yet. If you're wondering what ambient occlusion is, it's the thing where it adds basically fake shadows. Closer to edges, there would be a bit of darkness. For example, you can see that part is darker than here, and the edge line slowly gets darker. So proper search of this is ambient occlusion. This is what our terrain currently looks like without ambient occlusion and stuff like that, which you can tell by how this color here, which isn't close to an edge, it's the same as this color here, which is close to an edge. This effect will be added later. Credits to Wikipedia for the image. This effect will be added later, but it's an add. Anyway, so with the noise, there are a few settings you can change at the moment. You can change the noise steps. I'll just show what it looks like with 16 steps, which is the value used for vanilla, and I will bring down the lower the intensity, the more intense it gets. It's counterintuitive. I'll probably add a tooltip, but at the moment it's just like that. And disable vanilla terrain. If you just looking at this, because 16 is the vanilla texture size, you may be able to trick someone into thinking that this may be just how Minecraft looks with its terrible textures. And these are grass, they're just rendering above. But as you can notice, we are trying to render extremely far out instead of close by. So the default would I set it was back to 5, as it, in my opinion, that looks the best when you wanna go at less detail. And for further away terrain, that just looks extremely noisy. I'll probably decrease the effect the further away it gets, but for now, far away terrain is noisy. Anyway, other setting is the noise intensity. At the moment, if you leave this blank, then it'll crash the game. So as you saw when I set it to 1, it will become extremely intense. The noise works by, first of all, getting, and also a lot of flickering in the background. Noise works by getting the random value, so just normal noise, just a random value between 0 and 255, so literally looks like this. Then it adds it onto the color. So it first of all adds it onto the hue, which is basically just defines what color it is. So you can see all of the red, green, somewhere around there, blue, somewhere around here. And also the value, which controls the brightness of it. It doesn't touch the saturation, as the saturation basically just says how bright it is, maybe. It brings all of the values up higher. So yeah, with the current method, it would affect the value, which is the brightness, remember? It would affect that much more than it does the hue, just so, cause if you change the brightness a lot, that'll be more noticeable than changing the hue a little, as you can tell. So if I set it to 1, you can notice there's lots of black spots, but the color is generally the same, except for some parts which it gets a lot. Anyway, next part. There will be an auto updater in the next version as well. So by default it's set to 12.5, but this can be changed to 10 if you want it to be more intense. Personally, I don't like 10 because, as you can tell, it becomes noisy in the further away terrain, as if it's flickering a bit. It's probably hard to notice with YouTube compression, but it is flickering. But it does look better when it's close up, as it's more variation in color, more variation in brightness and color. That's basically it. I'll just quickly show the math. Oh yeah, and there's also another effect, noise. Oh, disable vanilla from rendering again. Noise also gets impacted on brighter stuff more than it does on darker stuff. So as you can see, if we look at dark terrain, it's a teeny bit less noisy than this. There's lava here, but it's under the water. Okay, sure. It gets less impacted than lava here, so it's a bit hard to see, but yeah, that's just this line of code right here. If you removed it, it would look something like this, where I would guess side-by-side comparison. I should probably amplify the effect a bit more, but if you remove it, the darker terrain just becomes brighter, which probably isn't something that you would like. And I think that's basically it about the noise. That's it. So I'll probably do more devlogs on different features that are coming into Distant Horizons later on, and I don't have my skin, so this is goodbye.